Hello, friends, welcome to my channel Knowing the Unborn. I hope you all are doing well in this pandemic situation. In this video, we will see that actions we are performing in the human body is determining our future bodies. The universe is filled with untold billions of eternally living spiritual souls or sparks of life, and all of them are transmigrating from one body to the next. In the video Life and Death, we had already discussed about the gross body and the subtle body. From the tiny one-celled amoeba to the great blue whale, all living organisms consist of two components, the material body and the spiritual soul. The spiritual spark or soul is only 1/10,000 the tip of the hair in size. The soul animates one body after another. In its evolutionary course, the soul transmigrates from one species to another. In some species, he remains only for a few seconds, in others, for as long as several thousand years. When a particular body is no longer fit for habitation, the soul leaves it and enters a seed, egg, or womb to begin developing his next body. And we have seen this in the previous video. The living entities are evolving through various species. Now the question comes that does the soul's transmigration from one body to another take place randomly, or does some higher authority supervise? In one lifetime, the spiritual soul may enjoy as a lusty rogue, and in the next lifetime, he may be kicked as a street dog. What determines a particular soul's in the next body? According to India's Vedic literature, the Bhagavad Gita, each soul receives punishment or reward for the sinful or pious acts he performs during his human lifetime. This is known as the law of karma. Every act a human being performs is either in accord with or contrary to the universal laws that God gives in the revealed scriptures. Now the another question which may come to our mind is that why the universal God laws apply only to human beings and not to animals? The answer to this question is that God's scriptural laws govern only those souls who are in the human form, because unlike the dull creatures in the lower species, the human being has sufficient intelligence to freely obey or reject the Lord's scriptural instructions. You all might have seen Spider-Man movie where his uncle Benjamin Franklin Parker says to Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man,
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Similarly, the freedom which comes with human form comes with accountability. Thus, a sinful soul, one who breaks God's laws, may be born as a dog in his next life. A pious soul may take his next birth as an aristocrat, and a self-realized soul may break free from the bonds of karma altogether and enter into the deathless spiritual world. The Bhagavad Gita further explains that a living soul receives a particular kind of body according to his particular desires. The subtle body, that is, mind, intelligence, and false ego, which accompanies the soul during the transitional state between death and rebirth, contains a record of all his thoughts, desires, and activities, and these determine the kind of gross body the living entity will inhabit in his next life. Just like when we go to a cloth shop, we find varieties of clothes, shirts, suits, pants, jeans, and etc. Similarly, there are 8.4 million species for us to choose from. We may acquire any of them to fulfill our desires. Even amongst human beings, there are so many varieties such as asuras, civilized, devas, and etc. And Krishna is capable of fulfilling every living entity's desires. Mental or psychological activities of thinking, feeling, and willing are also the activities on the platform of ethereal existence. That subtle form exists in the ether has been proven by modern science by transmission of television, by which forms or photographs of one place are transmitted to another place by the action of ethereal element. Within the Srimad Bhagavatam is the potential basis of great scientific research work, for it explains how subtle forms are generated from the ethereal element, how the tangible elements, namely air, fire, water, and earth, are manifested from the subtle form. Mental existence transforms into tangible form as soon as there is an opportunity. So the soul, being carried by the subtle body, occupies a womb depending on the unfulfilled desires stored in the subtle body. Do you know someone who likes to sleep a lot? Nature can award him a polar bear's body so that he can peacefully sleep for 6 months in a year without being ridiculed by his friends or scolded by his parents. Do you know someone who likes to eat flesh and drink blood? Nature will say, come on, take the body of a tiger or a lion and eat flesh the natural way. Do you know someone who likes to be in water always and keep swimming? Nature will say, come on, take the body of a fish and swim to your heart's content. Some people don't want to wear proper clothes on their body. They want to expose major part of their body and draw the attention of opposite sex. Nature says, take the body of a tree and stand naked to your heart's content in all the seasons. In this way, each species represents a different ways of enjoyment. So these are allotted to the living entities based on their desires. So we may think of the body either as the soul's vehicle for expressing his material desires or as the end result of good or bad acts the soul performed in his last human birth. Both concepts are correct. But in either case, we can see that there must be a witness and controller who fulfills the particular desires of each spiritual soul and who rewards or punishes each soul as he deserves. That witness, controller and judge is the super soul. In the next video, we will see that in the human body only the soul can discover the super soul. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.